I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Are you all right?
I'm gonna get you for this. You all saw that, didn't you?
Yes. No, we didn't. Sarah nearly died because of him, so we didn't see out, did we?
No. What do you mean?
Must have walked into a door, Aidan. Because Mr. Barlow didn't do anything.
But I did. Can one of you look after my class, please? And could you see that Aidan Critchley gets some medical attention?
Come in. Ken, whatever's the matter?
Well, you look better already. Without all those tubes sticking out, yeah?
Yeah, I feel better now.
Good. By the way, we thought you might like to see someone.
Oh, Bethany, come here. Yes. Oh, and don't hug her too tightly because you know she's still not pony. Oh, you've been a good girl for your grandma. Good girl. Oh, good. Well, when I get out of here, I am going to buy you the coolest present. I've missed you so much. We're going to spend so much time together, aren't we?
Yeah, careful now. Come on, go and sit with me. Let's give your mummy a rest, shall we?
How are you feeling?
Well, a bit tired from all the talking, you know.
Yeah, well, it was worth it. Because the good news is, they've arrested him. And I'll tell you this, if I'd have known what he was up to...
Why don't you take Bethany to the sweetie machine, eh?
Oh, OK. All right. Would you like a chocolate bar? Come on, let's go and get a nice chocolate bar.
You don't have to feel sorry for him, you know.
Yeah, I know.
You're right.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about getting in that car. I didn't even think about Bethany. All the times that I've shouted at her and wished that I never even had her. I'm a terrible mum.
No, you're not.
Well, it's all going to change because I'm never going to take her for granted again.
You know, that's exactly what I've been telling myself about you. And who bets this time next week we're shouting at each other?
I can't wait.
Here, hang on a minute. I'll wipe that table down for you first.
No, Vera, it's all right.
Look, you don't ketchup over your books.
Studying in here.
Well, I wouldn't have to if it weren't Maria's day off. It's a bit hard to concentrate when she's playing Atomic Kitten full pelt.
Oh. Now, look, will you leave the lass alone? And while you're at it, have a look at one of them while you're having your tea.
What is it?
Well, it's against this arcade. You know, they're trying to set up next door. Hey, Richard, can I give you one?
Not just now, Vera. I'm off to a meeting. Oh, you know what he's like. He's like some off Wall Street, isn't he? Rushing round, sorting everybody's finances out. Is that where you're going now? Yeah, you could say that.
Now, look, have you read that?
Yes, I have, Vera. And if you think I'm going to boycott Dev's shop, you've got another thing coming. What's an arcade? Just somewhere you go when you've got half hour to kill.
Yes, exactly.
You know what? Hit me was the worst thing you ever did. You're gonna regret it.
I really do. Believe me.
See, I don't know whether to believe you or not. Because not so long ago you were telling me, what was it? The ability to be reasonable is the backbone of a civilized society. Call this reasonable, dear.
I call it dead reasonable, yeah. Respect.
I really don't see why this couldn't have waited, Keith. This deadline's not till the end of the year.
So the trouble is, Richard, you don't seem to be making much effort to meet that deadline.
Of course I am. Look, I've managed to do this update for you. It's a bit rushed in the light of everything that's happened. But,
Yeah, so I'm more interested in facts than predictions. I take it you're aware that your overdraft has exceeded its limits by over £1,000, and you've missed your last loan repayment.
No, I wasn't. As you can imagine, I've been a bit preoccupied of late.
I see, yes. Oh, and of course, you've been away. Spain, I believe. Let's see, £750 paid to Sunliners. £800 to the airline, various restaurant bills. It all adds up to quite a tidy sum. So, you can understand my confusion. I ask you to tighten your belt, and the next thing I know, you're splashing out on yet another fancy holiday.
It wasn't really a holiday.
For a man on death row, you seem to be taking things very much in your stride. Now, unless I see clear signs of a significant reduction in your outgoings, you can forget about the end of the year. You'll be looking at a much earlier deadline than that.
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you, love. And a penny change. Thank you.
There you are. I was wondering where you were. Yes, well, I was just buying some onions because I wasn't sure what time you're going to be back, so I thought I'd make a casserole and put it on a low light.
Oh, Mum, that's nice, but it's all right, because Todd was arriving as I was leaving, and David's going in after school, so Sarah will be fine.
Is she still doing all right, then?
Just says she's getting better and better. I'm so pleased.
That's brilliant.
Have you seen Richard?
Yeah, I saw him earlier in the Rovers. He was with that counsellor, Chris Melton.
Was he now?
I'll tell you what. If Roy's still out there next week, we could hang a sign around his neck. Penny for the guy. See how much we make.
Oh, don't be awful. He's not the only one against this arcade, you know. That's £5.10, please, love.
So where all his supporters gone?
That's
How
right.
comes this business as usual?
Bye.
He's a lone voice, and the sooner he realises that, the better.
Hello, love. You're back early. Is everything all right?
I need to talk to you.
Why? What's happened?
In private.
Yeah, sure. Take as much time as you need.
Hey.
Oh, well, what's all this? Breaking your own picket lines now?
No. Just popped out for some tea bags for work, which I'm getting from Freshco's before you ask. No, I thought I'd call in on my way just to see, well, if you'd had time to think about things.
Oh. So strain's getting to you, is it? Well, it can't be easy, Hayley. You're coming home after a hard day's work, having to cover for Roy as well.
It's not like that
Well,
at
no,
all.
and I'm sorry to disappoint you, Hayley, but no, I'm not about to lose out on a highly lucrative business venture just to put a smile back on your face. Oh, and Hayley, you can tell that Roy that if he continues to harass my customers, I'll have him prosecuted.
No, nothing's happened to Blanche or Tracy.
Well, what is it, then?
I've just hit Aidan Critchley.
What?
And I mean, really hit him hard. His nose was bleeding. It was awful.
But what happened? Yeah, I thought he'd been arrested.
Yeah, well, they released him on bail. He came back to school bragging that he'd get off because his fingerprints were put down to having worked in the garage. He actually thanked me for providing him with a get-out clause.
Cheeky little...
But he just wouldn't let it drop. He went on and on and on, and then suddenly I hit him. I mean, I didn't know I'd done it till I saw him lying there on the floor. I just completely lost it, did.
Well, who can blame you? The little creep's had it coming for months. It's not your fault he's pushed you to the limit.
How can you say that? Of course it's my fault. I'm his teacher. I should be beyond all that.
Oh, Ken, you're only human. I mean, you've done well not to snap before now, given all the things he's done.
I've gone against every belief I've ever held. What I've done is unforgivable.
What you've done is perfectly understandable, given the circumstances, and I'm sure the head'll see it like that as well. Have you told her?
Yes.
And?
Oh, she said more or less the same as you.
Well, there you are, then. I mean, it's not as if they're going to sack you or anything.
Well, they won't have to. I've already resigned.
Anyway, his nose, it was this big. It was like a football. It's true.
Hiya.
What are you doing here?
I've come to see Sarah.
Didn't know you cared.
Well, of course I do.
That why you rushed to tell cops what happened?
They'd said that I'd get in trouble if I told, and that they'd do me for joyriding with him and all.
See? More interested in saving her own skin than yours.
You coming in then, or what? I can't blame her for being scared. I was. You could have come sooner, though.
I did, but they wouldn't let me in. And later, I thought you probably wouldn't want to talk to me anyway. I mean, if I hadn't been trying to get off with Aid, and hadn't been winding you up about being a wimp, you'd have probably never got in that flipping car. I've been a rotten mate, Sarah.
Hey.
What?
Thanks for this.
Anyway, at least Aid didn't get off scot-free. You will never guess what happened at school today. Ken Bow only whacked him one in class.
See, I told you.
What? So it's true then?
Yeah.
He hit him because of me.
Well, sort of, yeah. I mean, Abe was just stood there bragging about how he was going to be let off for it. Mr. Barlow soon wiped that smirk off his face.
What's up? You're not still sorry for him, are you?
No. What about Mr. Barlow? Caused enough trouble as it is. He might get the sack or something.
Oh, he's not going to get the sack. He'll probably get promoted. Even Miss Johnson can't stand Aid anymore.
So, you've not put anything in writing yet, then?
No, not yet.
Well, I reckon Miss Johnson's right. You shouldn't rush into anything. You're too upset to think clearly.
I'm thinking perfectly clearly.
No, you're not. Why should you sacrifice your career for a waster like him? I mean, you love teaching and you're good at it.
Good teachers don't hit their pupils.
Oh, no. He's not on his soapbox again, is he? Hey, it's a bit early for that, isn't it?
Ken's just hit that Critchley boy.
You what? After all you were saying the other day? What happened to it being immoral to use violence on a child? Your principles didn't last long, did they?
I'm going for a walk.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm pleased you took my advice. It's just a pity you didn't do it months ago.
Mother!
What?
So, it was Aid then, hmm?
Just as we thought.
Yeah, well, shame you didn't think a bit sooner, eh?
Sorry?
Well, how long's this joyriding been going on, and what else have these two been getting up to?
I don't know.
No. Just as I thought.
Oh, come on, Martin. You didn't know what was going on either.
Yeah, well, I've not been living there, have I? Since you've been there, they've been bunking off school and all sorts, and now this. You know, you might have some money, but when it comes to looking after kids, you've got a lot to learn. You should have kept a closer eye on her. Nice one, Ken. Shame you beat me to it.
Here he is, the man himself. Oh, do you know, you've made my day. You have, really. Is it cute to buy you a pint in here, I tell you?
Yeah, well, what are you having, Ken?
No, I'm fine, thanks, Richard.
And where's the close sign up?
Because I've had enough. I've spent all afternoon having to sprint to and fro between the post office and the counter whilst fobbing off customers' questions about where is that dear little dog? Oh, my nerves are in shreds.
Yes, well, so am I. I must have travelled 30 miles today. It's cost me a fortune in bus fares. I'm going to have to add travelling expenses to the overall cost.
But did you find anything?
No. No, they all had patches. Oh, and as for that one they tried to fob me off with in Eccles, well, that was obviously of dubious ancestry.
You wouldn't think it'd be so difficult. I mean, they all look the same from a distance.
Oh, well, maybe, but I mean, we can't keep Rita 10 feet from it for the rest of her life, can we? Oh, there was one, you know, that was absolutely perfect.
But why didn't you get it?
It was a Mrs. Wu.
Oh, I wondered where you were.
I dropped Bethany at the creche and David at the hospital. Thought we could do with some time on our own.
Good idea. Hey, I was just hearing all about
You've
Ken
seen
lady.
Chris Melton again, haven't you?
What?
My mum told me.
Oh, I see.
I mean, she just happened to mention it. Didn't know you wanted to keep it quiet.
The only reason I didn't say anything, Gail, is because I know you don't approve.
Too right, I don't.
It's common business practice. It's how these things work.
And did it work? Did the holiday bribery pay itself?
No.
What are you doing here? I thought you were in the pub, celebrating.
Yeah? Well, I don't happen to think there's much to celebrate.
Well, I don't agree. Someone had to show that lad he can't get away with things.
Yeah, well, that's up to the police and the courts, not me.
Ah, right. And a fine job they've made of that. No sooner did they get him, they let him go again. Listen, he got what was coming to him, so stop being so hard on yourself. We're all behind you.
You don't understand. OK, maybe if it had been you or Richard, there'd be some excuse, but I'm a teacher, Martin. I've abused my position. I've betrayed the trust of a pupil.
The trust of a pupil? No, hang on a minute, Ken. You're making him sound like he's some innocent little kid. He's not. He's a scumbag. He nearly killed our Sarah, and he didn't give a damn about it. So, no, you haven't betrayed anyone's trust.
All right, well, what about the rest of the pupils? Do you know what your David said to me when he found out?
What?
Respect. Well, that's not how I want to earn the respect of my pupils, and it's not the sort of example I want to set to them either.
Oh, come on. He wasn't cheering you because you'd hit someone. He was chuffed because it was Critchley. Like we all were in the pub. And anyway, according to Audrey, he's been bragging about how he thinks he's got away with it. So, no, all you've been doing is defending Sarah's honour.
Yeah, well, you make it sound almost noble. Well, it isn't. I've just hit a 15-year-old boy. And it doesn't matter how much provocation there was, there's no excuse for it. Besides, I'm not altogether sure I did do it entirely for Sarah. He's made my life hell for months now. Maybe I did it to get back at him for what he's done to me. In which case, I've got even less respect for myself.
You're telling me you've spent all that money for nothing?
It was worth a shot.
So how many more harebrained schemes have you got? I mean, why not fritter away the rest of them? We could lose our home as well.
You're right. I've made a mess of everything. Everything I touch seems to... It's all falling apart. The flats. Family.
What do you mean, the family?
Martin was right. I should have kept a closer eye on Sarah.
Martin had no right.
I mean, you saw it, didn't you? I mean, you never quite trusted Aid. But me? Oh, no. Oh, no, I let him turn me round. I even let him come to the wedding. Why didn't I listen to you instead of trying...
Your fault.
Useless father. Useless husband. I was so stupid to think that I deserved you. No wonder you regret marrying me.
Richard. I don't regret marrying you. I love you.
How can you? After I've let you all down.
You haven't let us down. You're a good husband and a good father. I shouldn't have shouted at you.
You're right, Gail. I've lied to you.
Only because you were trying to save my feelings. I know that, really. I shouldn't have shouted. It's the strain of the last week. It's telling on us all.
I don't want to lose you, Gail. I don't want to lose you.
You won't.
I never knew Ken had it in him. He always seemed like such a gentle soul to me.
Oh, I don't know. Him and Mike Baldwin have come to blows more than once.
Really?
Oh, yes. Be quite handy with his fists when he's ralking, Ken. Deirdre, now, come on. You tell that man of yours we all think he's wonderful.
Oh, right. I will when I see him. Take your words got out then.
Afraid so.
I never thought that Ken paid any attention to what I said. But no sooner do I suggest giving that Critchley lad a clip round the ear than he does.
Oh, surely not. I can't imagine Ken hitting a pupil.
Oh, he did. Mind you, it was more than just a clout round the ear from what I hear. Yes, all right. But remember what he did to our Sarah?
I've never understood why they banned the cane myself. I mean, it's ridiculous. These days, you can't even give your own child a tap on the backside without the social services threatening to take 'em off you. Never did our Deirdre any harm.
The old ways were the best.
Well, I don't agree. And I'm surprised at Ken. I thought he was against all that.
I must say, so am I.
Well, you see, that's what comes after going back into such a stressful job so late on in life. He probably thought he could cope, but it all got too much for him.
Excuse me, but it had nothing to do with Ken's age. And I think he coped remarkably well, considering what that little devil's put him through this last few months.
Here, here.
Yes, and just get your facts straight before you start shouting off. Did you know, for instance, that little so-and-so was bragging to Ken that he was going to get off?
Oh, well, when you explain it like that, it's not surprising that Ken lost his temper.
And don't think he's proud of what he's done, because he's not. He's only gone and resigned, hasn't he?
It's never.
Oh, that's terrible.
It does seem rather unfair that he should lose his job in these circumstances.
Well, why don't you go and tell Ken that, instead of gossiping about him behind his back?
Sounds like you got a nasty cold there, Roy. You should get home, wrapped up in bed.
I'm fine, thank you.
Anything I can get for you? Tissues, hot lemon drink, lip salve.
What is it? What's happened?
I'm looking for Kenneth Barlow.
Well, he's not here at the moment. He's gone to... Oh.
Kenneth Barlow?
Yes?
D.S. Hayton. I'd like you to come down to the police station for questioning.
What about?
There's a complaint being made against you for assault, occasioning actual bodily harm.
Well, that little toe rag.
All right, lad. Leave it.
Well, what is it? What's going on?
Them Critchley lads only made a complaint against Ken.
You like to come with us, sir?
That's ridiculous. It's him that wants locking up, not Ken.
Absolutely, and if you'd done your job properly in the first place and kept hold of that Aidan Critchley, none of this would have happened.
I'm coming with you.
No, I'd rather go on my own.